Let's talk about the world's most powerful money-making machines. We're going to look at a group of companies so insanely profitable, their combined annual earnings could literally buy the entire economy of a country like Australia. In this explainer, we'll break down who they are, where they are, and what it all means for the rest of us.
All right, let's kick things off with a number that's just hard to wrap your head around. $1.5 trillion. That's a 1, a 5, and then 11 zeros after it. It's a truly astronomical figure, but what does it actually represent?
Well, get this. It's the combined after-tax profit of just 50 companies in a single year. To put that into perspective, that one pile of cash is bigger than the entire economy of Australia. In fact, it's bigger than the GDP of all but about 13 countries on the entire planet. We are talking about an unbelievable concentration of wealth.
So, the big question is, where is all this money coming from? Let's peel back the layers and meet the engines driving this incredible amount of wealth.
And you can see right away this profit is not spread out evenly. Not even close. It is super concentrated in just 3 dominant sectors: financials, energy, and technology. You add those 3 up, and they account for almost 70% of all the profits from the world's top 50 companies. Leading the pack, at 28%, you've got the financial sector. We're talking about the giant banks and investment firms, the world's circulatory system for money. By managing trillions of dollars, they just naturally emerge as the most profitable group on the list.
Right behind them, at 24%, is energy. And this probably isn't a huge surprise, right? These are the companies that extract, refine, and sell the stuff that literally powers our world, from the gas in our cars to the electricity that keeps the lights on.
And finally, at 16%, you have technology. Now, it might look like a smaller piece of the pie, but don't let that fool you. The power here is immense. A tiny handful of tech giants now control the digital world we all live in, and their profits are just soaring, especially with innovations in things like cloud computing and AI.
But even within these incredibly powerful sectors, there's a pecking order. And one company stands so far above everyone else in terms of pure profit that it's in a league of its very own.
So out of all these corporate titans on the planet, who do you think takes the top spot? Is it a tech behemoth like Apple, or maybe one of the Wall Street giants?
The single most profitable company in the world raked in over $120 billion. And listen, that's not revenue or sales. That is pure after-tax profit. It's a number so huge, it's actually larger than the entire GDP of many countries.
And the company is the National Oil Company of Saudi Arabia, Saudi Aramco. It is by a massive margin the most profitable enterprise on Earth.
Now, their dominance comes from a business model that is just breathtakingly simple and powerful. Step 1, you control the world's largest proven oil reserves. Step 2, you get that oil out of the ground for an unbelievably low cost. We're talking around just $3 a barrel. And step 3, you sell it at the global market price of, say, $65 a barrel. That massive, massive gap is the engine of their unprecedented success.
Okay, so we know what industries are making all the money. But now, let's switch our focus. Where are these corporate giants actually located? Let's take a look at the global map and see which countries are home to these profit powerhouses.
And the geographic breakdown, wow, it tells a really clear story about global economic power. The United States is home to 20 of the top 50 firms. That's a full 40% of the entire list. China is next, with 9 of these giants. Just think about that. Together, these 2 nations alone account for nearly 60% of the world's most profitable companies. It's a clear economic duopoly.
But as we're looking at this list, dominated by the US and China, one of the world's most dynamic and fastest-growing major economies is, well, it's noticeably absent from the top ranks.
That's right. Despite its incredible economic growth and a corporate sector that's been hitting 15-year profitability highs, there isn't a single Indian company currently on that top 50 list.
But, and this is a big but, their absence absolutely does not mean they aren't close. India's corporate titans are already multi-billion-dollar profit engines. You've got companies like Reliance Industries, the State Bank of India, and HDFC Bank that are growing like crazy and really leading the charge for the whole nation's economy.
And if you want to see just how close India is, just look at the cutoff point. The 50th company on the list, Russia's Lukoil, earned $13.6 billion. Meanwhile, India's top company, Reliance Industries, recently posted a profit of $14.06 billion. So that gap hasn't just closed, it's been surpassed. We should absolutely expect to see a new name on this list very, very soon. So this all leaves us with a final thought about the future of global economic power. Right now, the landscape is clearly dominated by American and Chinese firms, mostly in finance, energy, and tech. But with economies like India's on the rise, the real question isn't if this list is going to change, but when and who will be the next one to claim a spot at the top.